Section 5 of the Saga of Gunnlaug the Worm-tongue and Raven the Skald, by Anonymous. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Phil Shempf. Of Gunnlaug's landing, and how he found Helga wedded to Raven. They made land north by Fox Plain in Hraunhaven, half a month before winter, and there unshipped their goods. Now there was a man called Thord, a bonder's son of the plain there. He fell to wrestling with the chapmen, and they mostly got worsted at his hands. Then a wrestling was settled between him and Gunnlaug. The night before, Thord made vows to Thor for the victory, but the next day, when they met, they fell to wrestling. Then Gunnlaug tripped both feet from under Thord, and gave him a great fall. But the foot that Gunnlaug stood on was put out of joint, and Gunnlaug fell together with Thord. Then said Thord, "May that other things go no better for thee." "What then?" said Gunnlaug. "Thy dealings with Raven, if he wed Helga the Fair at winter nights. I was anigh at the thing when that was settled last summer." Gunnlaug answered not thereto. Now the foot was swathed, and put into joint again, and it swelled mightily. But he and Hallfred ride 12 in company, till they come to Gilsbank in Bergfirth, the very Saturday night when folk sat at the wedding at Berg. Illugi was fain of his son Gunnlaug and his fellows, but Gunnlaug said he would ride then and there down to Berg. Illugi said it was not wise to do so, and to all but Gunnlaug that seemed good. But Gunnlaug was then unfit to walk because of his foot, though he would not let that be seen. Therefore there was no faring to Berg. On the morrow Hallfred rode to Hredawater in North Waterdale, where Galta his brother and a brisk man managed their matters. Of the winter wedding at Skani, and how Gunnlaug gave the king's cloak to Helga. Tells the tale of Raven, that he sat at his wedding's feast at Berg, and it was the talk of most men that the bride was but drooping. For true is the saw that saith, "Long we remember what youth gained us," and even so it was with her now. But this new thing befell at the feast, that Hungerd, the daughter of Thorod and Jofrid, was wooed by a man named Sverting, the son of Hafr Bjorn, the son of Moldgnup. And the wedding was to come off that winter after Yule at Skani, where dwelt Thorkel, the kinsman of Hungerd, and son of Torn Valbrandsson. And the mother of Torn was Thorrada, the sister of Odd of the Tongue. Now Raven went home to Mossfell with Helga his wife. When they had been there a little while, one morning early before they rose up, Helga was awake, but Raven slept, and fared ill in his sleep. And when he awoke, Helga asked him what he had dreamt. Then Raven sang: "In thine arms so dreamed I, hewn was I Gold Island. Bride in blood I bled there, bed of thine was reddened. Never more then mightst thou mead bowls pour speedy, bind my gashes bloody, lind leak bow thou likest it." Helga spake. "Never shall I weep therefore," quoth she. "Ye have evilly beguiled me, and Gunnlaug has surely come out." And therewith she wept much. But a little after, Gunnlaug's coming was bruited about, and Helga became so hard with Raven that he could not keep her at home at Mossfell, so that back they had to go to Berg, and Raven got small share of her company. Now men get ready for the winter wedding. Thorkel of Skani bade Illugi the Black and his sons. But when Master Illugi got ready, Gunnlaug sat in the hall, and stirred not to go. Illugi went up to him, and said, "Why dost thou not get ready, kinsman?" Gunnlaug answered, "I have no mind to go." Says Illugi, "Nay, but certes thou shalt go, kinsman," says he, "and cast thou not grief over thee by yearning for one woman. Make as if thou knewest not of it, for women thou wilt never lack." Now Gunnlaug did as his father bade him. So they came to the wedding, and Illugi and his sons were set down in the high seat. But Thorstein Egilson, and Raven his son-in-law, and the bridegrooms following were set in the other high seat, over against Illugi. The women sat on the dais, and Helga the Fair sat next to the bride. Oft she turned her eyes on Gunnlaug, thereby proving the saw, Eyes will bewray if maid love man. Gunnlaug was well arrayed, and had on him that goodly raiment that King Sigtrygg had given him. And now he was thought far above all other men, because of many things, both strength and goodliness and growth. There was little mirth among the folk at this wedding. But on the day when all men were making ready to go away, the women stood up and got ready to go home. Then went Gunnlaug to talk to Helga, and long they talked together. But Gunnlaug sang: "Light-hearted live the Worm-tongue, all day long no longer, in mountain home since Helga had name of wife of Raven. Not foresaw thy father, hardener white of fight-thaw, what my word should come to, the maid to gold was wedded." And again he sang: "Worst reward I owe them, father thine, O wine-may, and mother, that they made thee so fair beneath thy maid-gear. For thou sweet field of sea-flame, all joy has slain within me. Lo, here take it, loveliest, ere made of lord and lady." And therewith Gunnlaug gave Helga the cloak, Ethelred's gift, which was the fairest of things, and she thanked him well for the gift. Then Gunnlaug went out, and by that time riding horses had been brought home and saddled, and among them were many very good ones, and they were all tied up in the road. Gunnlaug leaps on to a horse, and rides a hand-gallop along the home field up to a place where Raven happened to stand just before him, and Raven had to draw out of his way. Then Gunnlaug said, "No need to slink aback, Raven, for I threatened thee not as at this time, but thou knowest forsooth what thou hast earned." Raven answered and sang: "God of wound-flamed glitter, glorier of fight goddess, must we fall a-fighting for fairest kirtle-bearer? Death's staffs many such like, fair as she is, are there, in south lands o'er the sea-floods, sooth saith he who knoweth." "Maybe there are many such, but they do not seem so to me," said Gunnlaug. Therewith Illugi and Thorstein ran up to them, and would not have them fight. Then Gunnlaug sang: "The fair-hued golden goddess, for gold to Raven sold they. Raven my match, as men say, while the mighty Isle King, Ethelred in England, from eastward way delayed me. Wherefore to gold waster waneth tongue speech hunger." Hereafter both rode home, and all was quiet and tidingless that winter through. But Raven had naught of Helga's fellowship after her meeting with Gunnlaug. Of the holm-gang at the Althing. Now in summer men ride a very many to the Althing. Illugi the Black, and his sons with him, Gunnlaug and Hermund, Thorstein Egilson, and Kolsvein his son, Onund of Mossfell, and his sons all, and Sverting, Hafrbjorn's son. Skapti yet held the spokesmanship at law. One day at the Thing, as men went thronging to the Hill of Laws, and when the matters of law were done there, then Gunnlaug craved silence, and said, "Is Raven the son of Onund here?" He said he was. Then spake Gunnlaug, "Thou well knowest that thou hast got to wife my avowed bride, and thus hast thou made thyself my foe. Now for this I bid thee to holm here at the Thing, in the holm of the Axewater, when 3 nights are gone by." Raven answers, "This is well bidden, as was to be looked for of thee, and for this I am ready whenever thou wiliest it." Now the kin of each deemed this a very ill thing, but at that time it was lawful for him who thought himself wronged by another to call him to fight on the holm. So, when 3 nights had gone by, they got ready for the holmgang. And Illugi the Black followed his son thither with a great following. But Skapti the lawman followed Raven, and his father and the other kinsmen of his. Now before Gunnlaug went upon the holm, he sang: Out to isle, O field, dight am I to hie me. Give, O God, thy singer, with glaive to end the striving. Here shall I the head cleave of Helga's love's devourer. At last my bright sword bringeth sundering of head and body. Then Raven answered and sang: Thou, singer, knowest not surely which of us twain shall gain it. With edge for leg swath eager, here are the wound size bare now. In whatso wise we wound us, the tidings from the thing hear, and fame of thane's fair doings, the fair young maid shall hear it. Hermund held the shield for his brother Gunnlaug, but Sverting, Hafr Biorn's son, was Raven's shield bearer. Whoso would be wounded was to ransom himself from the holm with 3 marks of silver. Now Raven's part it was to deal the first blow, as he was the challenged man. He hewed at the upper part of Gunnlaug's shield, and the sword brake asunder just beneath the hilt, with so great might he smote. But the point of the sword flew up from the shield and struck Gunnlaug's cheek, whereby he got just grazed. With that their fathers ran in between them, and many other men. "Now," said Gunnlaug, "I call Raven overcome, as he is weaponless." "But I say thou art vanquished, since thou art wounded," said Raven. Now Gunnlaug was nigh mad, and very wrathful, and said it was not tried out yet. Illugi, his father, said that they should try no more for that time. Gunnlaug said, "Beyond all things I desire that I might in such wise meet Raven again, that thou, father, were not anigh to part us." And thereat they parted for that time, and all men went back to their booths. But on the 2nd day after this, it was made law in the law court that henceforth all holmgangs should be forbidden, and this was done by the counsel of all the wisest men that were at the Thing. And there, indeed, were all the men of most counsel in all the land. And this was the last holmgang fought in Iceland, this wherein Gunnlaug and Raven fought. But this Thing was the 3rd most throng thing that had been held in Iceland. The first was after Njaal's burning, the second after the heath slaughters. Now one morning, as the brothers Hermund and Gunnlaug went to Axwater to wash, on the other side went many women towards the river, and in that company was Helga the Fair. Then said Hermund, "Dost thou see thy friend Helga there on the other side of the river?" "Surely I see her," said Gunnlaug, and withal he sang: Born was she for men's bickering, sore bale hath wrought the war stemy, and I yearned ever madly to hold that oak tree golden. To me then, me destroyer of Swan mead's flame unneedful, this looking on the dark-eyed, this golden land's beholding. Therewith they crossed the river, and Helga and Gunnlaug spake a while together. And as the brothers crossed the river eastward back again, Helga stood and gazed long after Gunnlaug. Then Gunnlaug looked back and sang: Moon of linen lapped one, leek sea-bearing goddess, hawk keen out of heaven, shone all bright upon me. But that eyelid's moonbeam of golden necklace goddess, her hath all undoing wrought and made me naught of. End of section 5.